Come on. Oh! Almost died there. All right. That's why you don't let me to intrusive thoughts win. Yep. Almost died on camera. That would have sucked. Nah, just kidding. Would have bailed because we're built different. Let's go. That felt pretty good. Here we go. What is up, YouTube? We are back with another day. We got max effort upper body today. We got 6 rep max decline press. We got some spine stuff. A lot of the athletes told me that this workout was a lot of fun, made them feel good. So I'm looking forward to that. It's always nice to have them guinea pig the workout sometimes, so you kind of know what you got going in, seeing if it's going to be a day where you really got to fucking buckle down and get ready for it. I can't say man up because Evie will yell at me if I say man up, but buckle down and lock in. Lock in is a better term. Or if it's going to be a day where you feel amazing leaving. Minnesota is drunk right now. It is snowing out. It has been 70 degrees like all of last week, and now it is snowing out, and I'm pretty pissed about it because I can't get my softball swings in outdoors. So we're gonna have to hit those indoors, and we're headed to Texas, not tomorrow, but on Wednesday. We're headed to Texas for a week. We got a softball tournament down there, and I'm really looking forward to that. So let's start lifting. Let's do it quick today. Under a minute, man, that's a banger for me. That's a new record. Let's start lifting, feeling good. Let's do it. All right, crushing this 3 plates, decline bench, 6 rep max here. The setup to get into this one's a little goofy. Got to elevate the feet just so my little baby feet can reach the ground. And then another little hack, throwing a band around your bench if your bench is super slippery, or if you're on an incline, decline, your back slipping off. Bench will keep it sticky. Band will keep it sticky so you don't slide on the bench. So little hacks there. Let's get it. Oof. Yeah, the setup on this one, it feels nice. Setup on this one's just a little bit too extra for my liking, but still gonna rip it, still gonna send it, keep rolling. All right, then we got a little T-spine rotation, stole from Vernon Griffin, just a total stud. It's gonna be here, arms straight, just like this. Trying to lock this knee into place so we're not opening up with that knee. Staying here, arm on the wall. We're gonna rotate all the way around till the other hand touches, then we come back up. This one is nice, feels freaking amazing. Get some loaded stretching through that T-spine. Just going back and forth. We got 6 of these. Oh. Ooh. All right, money. Let's get to some super cat throws and some plyometrics. Let's go. All right, then we got 10 rep max, high volume plyometrics on these. Throwing 10 as fast as possible. Ripping it, keeping it rolling. Let's go. Yeah, those are good. Boom, let's go. 10 reps as fast as possible, side to side, lateral plyometric push-ups. Again, I think plyos for the hands, wrists, and shoulders are one of the best things that you can do, especially if you're a combat athlete like I want to say football's a combat, but a contact sport athlete, where you're using your hands, wrists for all these punching actions. I think a lot of times in training camp and prep for the season, we do a ton of things to prep the lower body, even a ton of things to prep like chest, shoulders, everything like that. And then you leave out the hands, wrist, which is kind of that finishing contact point. It's like doing a bunch of, I don't know, I'm trying to make a good example there, but it's almost like a leg extension and never hitting any jumps before you're about to go be a basketball player, and you're probably gonna have some issues with that lower foot. And I think simple things like this plyometric, and again, plyometrics with the upper body are something you definitely have to build up to for the wrists and elbows to be able to handle them. But the better you get at these things, a lot of times the better that punch will be, the better the hands will feel when you're gripping stuff, you're grabbing stuff in the tackle position, and you're throwing punches and having to deal with that contact through the hands. And maybe combat athletes, when you're like a boxer, you get enough plyometric actions when you're actually boxing, you're making contact. But I'm thinking more in the contact sport world with the football guys, where you literally aren't getting any of that until fall camp, right? So if you can add in slight variations where you're prepping the hands, you're prepping the wrists, you're prepping the elbows for some of those contact forces, I think it's very beneficial. And I think it's kind of silly that we don't do it. It seems kind of weird. Like we talked about specificity and the SAID principle for everything we do. And then it comes to plyometrics for the upper body, and we don't really do it just because we're told we weren't supposed to. So I'm not saying it'll be your ultimate game changer and like completely change your punch. Maybe it could. But I just think logically it makes sense to prepare your body for the demands of what you're gonna have to do, which is a lot of contact with the ground, a lot of contact with another force, and dealing with these things right before you get to training camp, where it's like nothing, you get some barbell bench press in there, and then you go full contact with somebody the first day, and you see a lot of hand, finger, and wrist injuries. And I'm not saying this is gonna eliminate all of it, but just how an athlete feels and their ability to doing your best to prepare them for that demand, right? And I don't think a lot of coaches do their best to prepare them for that demand when they go from 0 to 100, right? So super simple, just gonna be here as fast as possible, back and forth, 10 of them. Whoa, let's go. All right, we're gonna go set number 2. Adjusted the setup just a little bit. Hopefully it's a little bit smoother. Just moved the bar up. Hold up. Just move the bar up. What the fuck am I doing, bro? I got the wrong weights on this side. Hold up, pause. All right, now we got the right weights on the side. Let's rip it. Yeah, dang. That setup is brutal. You really gotta groove that baby right. Keep ripping, but wouldn't recommend 3 plates. 2 plates is money, 3 plates is too much. Set number 3 should be pretty easy, as long as I don't, shouldn't say pretty easy, but as long as I groove it right, it should be pretty smooth, like a little 8, 7-ish out of 10. Here we go. If I misgroove it, I will die though. Oof. 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 Oh my God. I'm gonna keep complaining about that setup because it sucks. That unrack, everything about that. If you had a partner pulling over, wouldn't be that bad. But that thing sucks, man. We're gonna do one more set. Not negatively sucks, just dang, feels like I can rip it through. The setup's so goofy. I'm gonna go one more set with the slingshot, add a little bit of weight, and then we'll keep progressing, keep ripping, let's go. All right, final one here with the slingshot, ripping, going down and up. Let's make sure we don't die on this bench, let's go. I don't bench nearly enough to have the setup I have going right now. This is ridiculous. You gotta bench at least 500 to have all of these things going on. But we do it for the lore. All right, we could definitely go more with the slingshot. Fuck it, let's do it. Let's go 315 with the slingshot. All right, so definitely let my meathead intrusive thoughts win after that last set because it felt decent, but I despise this setup and I'm pretty fed up with this setup. But we're gonna hit 315 here, so let's do it. Play a banger. I've been getting freaking flagged, copyrighted, because it hears my music in the background, but what do you want me to do? Not work out with bangers, bro? We got some holy crazy playing? Oh, let's go. Gonna rip this for as many reps as possible. Let's go. Everything about this setup sucks. Oh my God. My hat's falling off. Birds' heads are falling off. Here we go. Okay. Come on. Oh! Almost died there. All right. That's why you don't let me to intrusive thoughts win. Yep. Almost died on camera. That would have sucked. Nah, just kidding. Would have bailed because we're built different. Let's go. That felt pretty good. Here we go. All right, so start of the armor building series here. We got a 3-minute locked out dip ISO, so we'll just hop up here, locking out this position right here, holding for 3. Before we get there, I just had a rant triggering moments. One of the most infuriating things to me as a coach is when one of my athletes comes up to me and goes, "Hey coach, just ripped a ripper of a workout yesterday. Hey coach, just ran the Murph yesterday, just ran a bunch of miles yesterday." And they come to me with this like super big enthusiasm, and it's cool. It's cool to do those cool tasks. It's cool every now and then to go like run a Murph, go test yourself, go just like rip arms with the boys, or hit a huge leg day with the boys. Amazing, great. I'm not against that side of things. The thing that frustrates me is when you go do these rip rover workouts, you go do the Murph, you go do the massive leg day with your boys, and inevitably, later in the week, you come up to me, it's like, oh man, I'm just gassed, I'm just beat up, I think I'm gonna have to go, I'm gonna have to chill today, or I'm gonna skip today, I'm feeling pretty beat up, I don't know why. It's like, bro, it's one of the most frustrating things in the world when you splurge on these big events, these big like workouts, these big mental toughness challenges, when overall you are getting less work done. Like that's I think one of the frustrating things to me about it is like athletes want to be viewed as these mentally tough creatures, these mentally tough people. I'm hardening myself by doing this big workout. And you look at the longevity of it, you look at the overall volume of the week, of the month, of these athletes that just randomly go and do these things, randomly go and do arm workouts, randomly go and do these leg workouts. Again, not framing it into doing it for fun every now and then, but doing it for the like, I'm gonna go harden myself. Every single time those athletes end up skipping more workouts than the other athletes because they spend it all in one big workout. They spend all their energy in one big thing, and then they back it up with, well, I did that, so I don't have to do that. Again, it goes back to just do the program, run the program, and finish the program, right? And you see way less work being done overall, way less mental toughness, way less hardening being done overall when they're approaching training in this way. So just a little pet peeve of mine. Don't tell me you go do these fucking workouts and expect a pat on the back, because I know inevitably what's going to happen. And the only reason I know that is because the people that are doing that, they're not stable. They don't have consistency. That's why they're going to go do these big things and then they don't do. All they need is consistency, right? You don't need the dopamine hits. You don't need the dopamine hits is not mental toughness. In no way, shape, or form is running repeat 400s out of nowhere. If it's not what you're training for, you're just doing it to prove that you're hard. In no way is that mental toughness. That is just a dopamine hack you were looking for. And again, I'm not saying it's the negative thing. I'm just saying wrapping that up in something that it's not is very frustrating to me. If you're gonna go run those repeat 400s and you're just doing it for fun, you're doing it with the boys, you're just doing it to see if you can test yourself, and you just wanted to go do that, that's amazing. But you are not allowed then on the back end to go skip other things because you did that. That doesn't earn you the right to do anything, right? Consistency, that is mental toughness. Consistency, that is how you harden yourself. Every single day showing up to the workouts, every single day doing what is prescribed of you, strictly because it's just what you're supposed to do. There is no A leads to B leads to C. I did C, so I get D. That's not how life works. It's not how training works. You just got to show up and do the work, and things will sort themselves out on the back end. But the more that you do these huge events, the more I see less work overall getting done. And it's always athletes that are just not making the progress they want to make. And then they've lied to themselves so many times of, well, I did the Murph challenge when they were sitting on their butts, so I don't know why I'm not starting. I did the Murph challenge when they were doing this, I don't know why I'm not ripped, and they are. It's like, well, yeah, because they're working out in the dark, in quotations, from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single morning for months and weeks and years on end. That's why they're getting results. Consistency, long-term game, long-term work compiled on each other, and they're making progress because of that. Not because they're going splurge on a random workout. Murph just stuck in my head. I was thinking about the Murph workout, but it's random leg days or random like sprint days or random, I just went for a run. And again, I will never bastardize somebody for going to go work out, for going to go do something they enjoy. What I will bastardize somebody with is when they feel like they've earned a mental toughness, they feel like they have earned a day off, they feel like they've earned a pat on the back because they did something that was the exact opposite of mental toughness. So hopefully I got that message across clear. Not shaming movement, not shaming going to do things that are fun. You have a body, you should go explore things. What I'm shaming is the fact that that has not allowed you to earn anything, right? That is not that. You just did that for the dopamine hit. You just did that for the fun in the moment. And if anything, it's a mentally weak thing. And I do mentally weak things all the time. I go and do that shit all the time. I get that part of it. But then I turn around and I hit my 6 a.m. workout every day, right? I show up every single day. And I think that's the big part of it. Don't lie to yourself. And don't lie to others. And don't expect that pat on the back. That's one of the most frustrating things in the world. Okay, let's hit these 3-minute holds here and earn our cake here. Let's go. So on these ISOs, anytime that you need to take a break, you literally just set it down, stop your timer, hop back up. I get that question a lot. What if I can't perform 2 minutes straight? What if I can't perform 3 minutes straight? The goal is to build up to that, but if you're not there yet, just pause the timer, walk around, take a couple deep inhales, exhales, then we hop back up on the bar, hold it again. And if that's really too much, you get to a point where each set is 5 seconds before you're quitting because you're totally exhausted and you're just not ready for that yet, then do a running time. So just keep that clock running on your breaks and try to hop back up as fast as possible. Once you're able to do that in like 2 sets, then switch to a stop clock. And after the stop clock, your goal is to work up to it straight. Damn, getting bodied already. Ooh, come on. Into the ice. Oh. Ooh. All right, we still got 45 seconds left. Oh my God. A little break, shake it off, I'll hop back up. Ooh. Holy crap, man. That one is a ripper. Get that upper back going, you get that tricep going, elbows locked out, you build up some wrist, man. Woo! Man, my titties are popping from that. We are ready. All right, we're going to, what else do we got? We got some rows, we got some curls. So let's do some rows, curls, triceps, then we'll hit some crawls, then we'll hit some lateral hangs, then we'll finish up the accessories. We should be good to go there. Let's rip it, keep going. Some full ROM here. Basically like a little round into the barbell row. So spine flex into the barbell row. I'm gonna come up here. If this box collapses, it's because it's not a very stable box. And I told all the athletes not to use it this morning, and then now I'm using it here. So, just tells you a little bit of something, right? Don't listen to your coach. Here we go. Yeah, those are good. Nice little stretch. I'll go a little bit heavier on the second set. Keep ripping. Then with those, we got mosh pit curls from range of strength. Range of strength, right? Pretty sure these are range of strength. Pretty sure that's where I stole it from. We're gonna be here, dropping the elbow in, and then come back around. I got 8 of them. These are really nice. Athletes love these this morning. Everybody's been kind of raving them up on his page. A little circular motion in that elbow. Feels nice. Whew. Whew. We got 8 of these. Woo! Yeah, that pump is spicy, dude. Woo! Oof. Oof. Boom. Let's go. Here's some triceps. Finish up those rows. Let's go. We're just going hand over head here. 8 of them. Oof. 8's too easy. Keep going. Woo! There you go. All right. So that's probably a good point to cover. A lot of times athletes, coaches will ask me, like, what's a good weight to use for a certain exercise, the tricep extension? What's a good weight? I don't know my 8 rep max. I don't know what it is. One, figure it the fuck out, right? Like, it's your body. Start to learn how to, like, understand your body, what weights it uses, how's it feeling that day, how strong does it feel, how weak does it feel, how are you during that exercise? Stop outsourcing that information. Start paying attention to that. And 2, experiment, right? So, like, that was supposed to be an 8 rep max, right? I just threw it on there, started ripping, thought it was gonna be an 8 rep max, undershot a little bit, okay? So first set, we're just gonna use that for a greaser. We hit 13 reps, right? We hit 13 reps, now I'm gonna move it up a couple, and we're gonna hit 8 reps for the next 2, right? So I think the less you outsource, the more creative and fun a workout can be, and the more you really start to learn and understand your own body. And I'm not saying this to be an asshole, I'm not trying to yell at somebody. I just think it's incredibly not freeing for that person's movement practice when a coach just instantly answers that question. When they instantly like, well, let's put on 12, right? Well, let's use 30-pound dumbbells, right? I don't know, like, how are you feeling today, man? Like, what do you think you can do for 8 reps? Let's try, and obviously don't put them in dangerous situations, but let's try the 50-pound dumbbells for a dumbbell bench. How did that feel? Oh, you got absolutely bodied after 2 reps? Okay, you're nowhere near that. Why did you think 50 was a good weight? Let's have that conversation. Let's talk about that. And the only way you're really gonna learn is through action, right? So if you really think you can do 50s, I know looking at you, you're only gonna be able to do 30s, and I just take that freedom away from you and tell you to do 30s. Next week, you're gonna come back, well, what should I do for my 3 rep max? Like, well, last week we did 30s, right? You still think you can do 50s. and we still have that disconnect, and we're still having this conversation, right? Whereas if I just tell you, all right, what do you think? I think 50s. You hit 2, like you get bodied. I'm like, all right, what do you think now? He's like, well, I should probably go to 30s. And you're never gonna forget that moment, right? Or if you do 30s for 15 reps, you're gonna be like, well, I can go up, and you're never gonna forget that moment. But teaching through action and allowing athletes and clients to learn by themselves rather than holding their hands, right? We are not as important as we think. We don't need to be there, right? We don't need to provide that convenience. And you don't need to lie to clients. You don't need to provide that like comfortability aspect for them when long-term it's taken away from their movement practice. Like have a discussion with them, explain to them why you're approaching fitness in this way, why you're approaching the answers in this way, and every single time the person's like, oh, I've just never had that before. I've never had that freedom to pick. I've never had that non-comfort blanket. And again, this is different than don't go get somebody hurt. Don't go throw 4 plates on a bar and have them fucking squat 400 pounds the first time and break them and be like, well, see, told you. But there are movements like a tricep extension. There are movements like a row that you can have them go mess around with and start to have these conversations. But if you're looking for how much do I use on that way, go find out, man. Go experiment, go work on some of these things. And I think long-term, that allows you to know yourself a little bit better, and your training program is a lot more fluid than I prescribing 30s for you every single week, right? So think about it a little less. Keep it simple, stupid. Let's go. Oh, I almost lost my toes there. That would have been tough. I almost died twice during this workout. Let's go. All right, then last part of the accessories before, I mean not last part of the accessories, but of that block. We're gonna go here, side splits. We're gonna bend, we're gonna press. This one is freaking money on the hips. I'm already cramping. First one, last set I was dying. My hips were making some spanking noises. I'm gonna be here, pressing here, leaning into that, pressing there. And we got 8 of these, I think. Oh, that hip is gonna kill me. Oh, crank it, crank. Here we go. Yep. Oh, just like that, nice, money. All right, then a crawl variation today. We just got lizard crawl. Lizard crawl, chest and hips are touching the ground at the same time. We're staying nice and low, lizarding back and forth, nice and spicy there. Goal here is, again, to keep the chest and quads touching the ground pretty much at the same time. A lot of athletes will just throw their chest down and keep their butt super high. Goal is to stay nice and rhythmic on that bottom, and it kind of forces you to get that side-to-side motion here. These are pretty spicy. They are not super easy. Here we go. Oh, just like that. Money maker. All right, we got like 100 more feet of these to go. So, all right, and then last thing we got here, these lateral side hangs. Been doing these for years. These are money, bro. Get a good side bend, stretch in, holding up here, get it nice and long with that arm. And we're just sitting in this position for a minute. You wanna get jacked, you wanna feel functional. Hangs and climbs, man, you get some different levels of pumps, different level of strength, different level of hypertrophy and mobility that you otherwise wouldn't get. Ooh, here we go, I gotta concentrate. Just doing barbell stuff. Now, that's if you only do barbell stuff. If you are just one second, I gotta concentrate. Ooh. If you are a functional fitness warrior and that's all you do is handstands, crawls, everything like that, you're probably not obviously just doing the same stuff that you're doing. It's not gonna lead to the insane stuff, the insane growth, this insane performance benefits that it does for people that just don't do any of it. But when your main stuff is dumbbells, barbells, lifting heavy things, and you start to add in some of these hangs, some of these crawls, you'd be absolutely amazed at some of the hypertrophy gains you get from it, absolutely amazed at how you feel, absolutely amazed at the mobility aspect, like those crawls, man, my spine was moving left and right, that T-spine was opening up. It's super easy to load, it's super easy to progress. Able to get a ton of volume in without really having to be at worry for an injury. Like I can crawl forever without really being injured, without like having a chance for injury. It's not like barbell bench where if I bench press forever, I'm getting an injury. And I left those crawls with like a back that was pumped up like a mother trucker. I was like, oh my God, bro, I feel like a monster right now. So just a lot of beautiful stuff you can get done with simple movements like crawls and hangs. And I think a lot of it, again, is just because most athletes don't have any of it in their program. Because it doesn't work the other way around. If you are just a fitness bro, you probably need to lift some more weights just because that's what you don't have, right? That's your missing link. So balancing it out, but there's definitely performance gains to be had there with some of these functional type movements. Here we go, 10 seconds. All right, we're gonna hit the other arm, then we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Woo! All right, that is the day. It's crazy how much a difference fatigue can make here. Let's cover this over here. Get a little outro video and then we'll get the fuck out of here. It's crazy that right arm that is not the fatigued elbow from swinging, is not the beat up elbow, 35 seconds longer than the left arm that is the fatigued elbow. This is kind of nuts. You talk about like the difference in performance when you're fatigued and when you're not, the difference in performance when you have an injury or you have pain and not. Some of these metrics will kind of show you that right away. And it's like, it's literally double the performance on the right side than the left side because of that. So just things you can pay attention to, kind of cool things. Again, not the end of the world. I understand why that left elbow is feeling the way that it's feeling, and why it has the grip that it has. And we keep monitoring it, we keep going. There's nothing that's it's really affected me with, other than like sometimes when I swing, you have a little bit of pain. There's nothing there that's really pressing right now. So we just take care of it, we keep it rolling, and we pay attention to maybe just getting a little bit more volume with isometrics and end range positions in that left elbow that we probably don't need as much of. Not saying we'll cut it out, but we don't need as much of it in the right elbow. I'd rate today's workout 4, 5 out of 10 for my intensity levels. Just couldn't lock in, man. It was like one of those days, like all the numbers felt good. I'm pretty proud of myself for finishing it out and like checking the boxes. And this is just one of the days I go up to the board, like motherfucker, you just got to get this stuff done. As soon as it's done, you wipe it off the board. You realize, okay, checklist, get the next thing done, you get the next thing done. Keep pressing, keep working. And it was one of those days. And some days are like that, man. It's, you just press through, you keep going. You check your boxes, you write the thing off the board, and you just keep going for the next day, right? Don't get too down on yourself, don't cut everything out. But I was stuck in a very like almost anxious mindset. It's like, oh, I gotta get out of this gym, I got so much to do today, I got everything, all of those things, man. And it's just funny, like the more I voice what I'm actually thinking, the more I voice what I'm actually feeling, the more I'm able to notice those thoughts throughout the workout. And before, where I would have just felt a massive wave of anxiety for no reason, it would have been, and I've probably just left or been just frustrated with the whole workout. Just understand like, oh, you're just getting that wave in this moment, just keep pressing through and there'll be a high point in the workout, and voice that frustration and voice how you're feeling, and then come back and keep going, and keep finding little hacks that get you through the workout. And tomorrow you'll come back and you'll crush tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, the next day, right? But just keep pressing on. I think that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of times when people have these waves of feelings, like you are not your feelings. It doesn't mean to ignore your feelings. It doesn't mean they don't matter. It doesn't mean what you're going through doesn't matter. But it doesn't mean you have to let it dictate your entire life. And I think a lot of us do that. I think I definitely do that. And that would have been one where maybe without the camera, I would have let it dictate my life. I'm like, oh, I'll come back. I'll do it later. I'll do all these things. And you never fucking come back. You never do it later. You just skip that day. You draw it up as an L, instead of just check marking your workout off and getting things done. So I feel pretty proud of myself for getting everything done. I feel good. My body feels good. I felt strong today. All of that stuff. It's just like the motivation, the drive to go get things done, which I think is kind of BS in some regards. But you know, like that get after it mentality with the jumps that I've had recently, with the snatch that I've had recently, just wasn't there for some reason. Maybe it's because it's a Monday. Maybe just because I didn't have a big metric to go chase today. Maybe it's because I don't have softball to look forward to today because it's 30 degrees out. Maybe just because I'd been here since 6 a.m. and it's now like 1 p.m. I've just been here at the gym for too long. Maybe it's just that mental fatigue. Not really sure. We'll keep piecing it together and working on there, but we got our workout done, man. I feel great. I know I can go to bed tonight knowing that I accomplished what I was supposed to accomplish today. And we keep pressing from there. So nothing else much to be said. Tomorrow we're gonna rip legs. Wednesday we're gonna hop on a flight and we're gonna see Tim Riley either Wednesday or Thursday. And then we got softball Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we'll go from there. But we'll get some sweet content this week, so pay attention for that. Me and Tim Riley are gonna rip a workout, and should be amazing. So appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel, commenting, following, all those good things. If you want to train like I train, we have the Yoakum Strength Insider, which is all of my training on an app. You have access to my DMs. You can message me anytime. There's videos, there's a nutrition guideline, there's a community Discord, everything like that. If you're interested in training like you see here with a little bit more spice, I have all of my movement stuff in those workouts obviously too. I do a lot of my movement stuff with my athletes in the morning that you guys don't get to see just because I don't record, just because I'm with them. But all of that movement-based stuff is in there as well as with your training. So if you're an athlete or just somebody looking to become a better mover, it's an option out there. But yeah, appreciate you guys supporting the podcast. Let's go.